Workers with waders and pool cleaning equipment are working overtime at Washington's iconic reflecting pool, battling the algae that has turned one of the president's prized projects from American flag blue to green.
If you take a look, not only has the green of the algae come back, but look at that American flag blue in the paint. It's actually starting to peel. It's coming up.
President Trump's got a Crime Stoppers tip for you. He says lightweight ABC reporter Jonathan Karl was seen sticking his hand into the pool and trying to rip the rubber off the surface. Judge, is Jonathan Karl from ABC in trouble?
Well, it depends. Anyone who is in a position of vandalizing or attempting to vandalize the reflecting pool will face the criminal justice system in D.C. Look, the president has made it a priority to make D.C. not only safe but beautiful. And there are several citations that have been handed out to individuals, and these are cases that will be prosecuted to the full extent. If there are more serious products that are put into the reflecting pool to create more algae or a bigger problem, then we'll consider more serious charges.
Well, this is what the United States has come to, my fellow Americans, on our 250th birthday, no less, where the U.S. Attorney for D.C. is not ruling out charges against an ABC News reporter because he dared to reach into the reflecting pool to touch a piece of paint to show viewers how it was peeling up because they dumped a bunch of hydrogen peroxide in it to fight the algae. But I'm describing it in a very uncharitable way because, as Trump put it in a Truth Social post, the reporter tried to rip the rubber off the surface. I mean, sure, that's one way to spin it, right? But Trump's gotten so goddamn defensive about the reflecting pool that he literally deployed the fucking National Guard to it to bolster his narrative that it's green because of vandalism and not Mother Nature. And he's sharing pictures of people showing up with Team Algae shirts who are clearly trolling as evidence of some sort of a grand criminal conspiracy, possibly instigated by James Comey, to sabotage the reflecting pool. And he's so mad about it that he's threatening a 10-year prison sentence for anyone who engages in such vandalism. And right-wingers presumably feel forced to play along by clutching their pearls over pro-algae and FIFA protesters, quote, harassing members of the National Guard for facetiously chanting, "Let's go algae" at them.
Let's go algae, let's go!
And as funny as this entire situation is, the Trump regime, they are not fucking around. They arrested an elderly cyclist who was later identified as former Olympian David Hearn after he stopped to take a picture, and they're saying that he committed vandalism, but he says all he did was touch it. And the regime is claiming that there's more people that were taken into custody, but we don't know anything about them, and we don't even know if they actually did that. It's possible that they're just lying to deter others from fucking with it, but to Trump's credit, he did get a lot more people interested in our national monument, so I guess you could say mission accomplished in that sense. But the problem is only getting worse because, as Matt Visor pointed out in an article for The Atlantic, the things that they did to kill the algae actually made it worse, probably because they fired most of the scientists, and they're now dealing with a more aggressive form of algae that has completely taken over. And to add insult to injury, it's also starting to stink, and now our nation's capital probably smells like Trump's sweaty neck pussy for its 250th birthday, which is a fate we absolutely deserve, by the way. And as many of you know, Trump awarded his neighbor a multi-million-dollar no-bid contract to paint the reflecting pool and install a new filtration system and whatnot. And not enough people are talking about who this guy is and, more importantly, how he looks. And you're going to accuse me of being petty for saying that, but I promise you, I am not being petty. It's almost unbelievable. So Mo Davis, a former U.S. labor judge, shared this photo of John Cafaro, the guy that Trump awarded this no-bid contract to. And no, this is not a picture of him at some sort of costume party. This is how he actually looks, like a villain in an anime or a fucking comedian playing a mafia don in a parody movie. And David adds, he has 2 prior convictions, one for bribing a member of Congress and another for an illegal loan that violated campaign finance laws. So if you didn't know, now you do. You're welcome. Now, I want to go back to the ABC News report that I played at the beginning of this video from Jonathan Karl, who may soon go to prison because of that report, because there's a different portion where he replays things that Trump said about this project before it was officially underway. And in retrospect, everything that Donald Trump said about this is so much more hilarious.
That was not what the president had in mind for this project, which was completed just last week.
You're going to be very proud of, and it'll last for 50 to 100 years before you have to do anything with it. very strong, powerful substance that we use.
Bro, how is this even real? Like, what are we doing? It's not only funny because that obviously aged like milk, it's also funny because our president is so fucking stupid that he compared the size of the reflecting pool to skyscrapers for no reason whatsoever. First of all, you're not making it bigger, so why are you talking about its size? Second of all, if you actually do want to boast about its size for some reason, why would you compare it to skyscrapers? Why not choose something more appropriate? That's flat. I mean, that is truly some baby brain shit, and I don't think most people even question it because we've become so accustomed to Trump's stupidity that something like that doesn't even register to us anymore. At this point, if he literally stuck his hand in his diaper to pull out some shit and start eating it, half the country probably wouldn't even be fazed. He'd tell us that it was chocolate, and his supporters wouldn't even question that. Like, that's the state of American politics. I apologize for the visual, by the way, but I'm just trying to demonstrate how insane it is that this is reality and that it's real life. We're not living in some sort of Truman Show-esque movie. This is the United States of America in 2026, believe it or not. But on the subject of Donald Trump denying reality, even though he is finally admitting that the reflecting pool isn't supposed to be green, that probably took a lot. I want you to look at these pictures, courtesy of ABC News, taken between June 11th and June 17th. And as you can see, it was completely green by June 17th. Despite that, the official U.S. Interior Press account actually tweeted this on that same day. Quote, "The reflecting pool water is crystal clear, and our National Park Service team is now vacuuming up the dead algae resting on the bottom of some parts of the reflecting pool, just like the destroyed Iranian Navy resting on the bottom of the Persian Gulf." Holy shit. I mean, the secondhand embarrassment I feel as an American truly can never be overstated. It is utterly astonishing to see the federal government tweet something like this after they just got their asses handed to them by Iran. But just like Iran, algae also managed to humiliate Donald Trump, although I'm not necessarily shocked to see the president get outsmarted by a single-celled organism. In fact, I think that's the perfect representation of his intelligence. But since he lost the war to algae too, he's trying to fake it till he makes it, which is coincidentally his Iran war strategy. He lost, but yet he claims he obliterated them. Okay, sure, whatever, bud, just say whatever the fuck. Words don't have meaning anymore. And I just want to show you the reaction from a CNN panel to the regime's claim that the water was crystal clear, because it was maybe the only time CNN has ever been entertaining to me.
First, not crystal clear. Like, stop. Like, you guys, come on.
Yeah, it's a don't believe your lying eyes moment, right? Like,
well, now he's going to sue you for defamation, so good job, CNN. And not to snitch or anything, but earlier in that same report, CNN's field reporter committed a crime that apparently comes with a 10-year prison sentence by touching the paint that floated up to the top of the reflecting pool. So that segment may end up costing CNN a lot of money, and I wouldn't be surprised if all of them were fired once the Ellisons take over. But whenever something like this happens, I always find myself wondering, how is Fox News going to spin this one? Because it's a lot of work to concoct the bullshit that is sufficient to satisfy Donald Trump. But I mean, what are they doing? Well, they're getting pretty creative, as you're going to see, and they're putting in a lot of work. Like, this is a real compilation I put together of actual Fox News segments where they talk about the reflecting pool. And again, I just have to say, for posterity's sake, this is not a parody. This is an actual report, a compilation of multiple reports of Fox News. Just fucking watch.
I'm here at the newly renovated reflecting pool. It's painted American flag blue. And the Democrats are going to tell you, oh, there's green algae, it looks so bad. But there's pool guys cleaning it up right now. No other president would do that.
Oh, they've seen it restored to this beautiful cerulean as part of the America 250 celebration after years as an algae-covered mess. That is, of course, until the cleanup. Then suddenly we started seeing these reports surface of a new algae bloom forming and pictures of the peeling lower coating. Critics were slamming the work as shoddy, which, as it turns out, wasn't true.
well, I'm not a scientist, so the algae thing, I mean, I believe that's what happens in bodies of water such as this, so I don't think this is President Trump's fault. But what's so irritating to me about the left here? President Trump is trying to make D.C. nicer. D.C. is filled filled with Democrats, okay? He's making it nicer because, yes, he happens to live there for the next couple of years, but you all live there all the time because D.C. is made up primarily of liberals and Democrats, right? He's trying to make it nicer for you. He's trying to make it safer for you. He's trying to make your reflecting pool nicer. He's trying to spruce up the place, and they go out of their way to damage and to vandalize it. It's like during the BLM Summer of Love when they're burning down businesses in their own community.
Iran, fraud, there have been assassination plots, but the liberal media is focused on something else entirely. They're very concerned about algae in the reflecting pool in Washington, D.C. You know, the one that no one actually goes in, no one swims in it, no one drinks from it, yet there are seasoned journalists absolutely obsessing.
And just the laziness of this, of all the reporting you could do in America to actually help people's lives, you're like, hey guys, we can go out of our doors here, we can walk over there, and we can try to turn this into a political hit job on Donald Trump.
So as you can see, they are using a multi-pronged approach to do damage control for the Trump regime. They're engaging in some good old-fashioned reality denial, as well as a little bit of Democrats are big meanies to twomp, and just a sprinkle of how dare liberal media focus on such senseless drivel. Don't you know that Fox News is the most serious news outlet where we cover real stories like MLB under investigation over Pride Night controversy? Like, the irony is so overwhelming and none of them recognize it. It goes right over their heads. But to be fair, I agree with them. Yes, there are more important things the media could be focusing on, and that's especially true for Fox News, to be clear. But the reason why people are interested in this story is because it speaks to the dumb bullshit Trump is focused on as the president. He is prioritizing unnecessary vanity projects like this instead of, say, helping regular people. Yet, he can't even do this competently. Like, the aesthetic differences that he's making, he can't even pull that off. It is embarrassing, but in all honesty, I'm actually glad he's more concerned with this frivolous bullshit, because if he was more focused on actual policy, he'd be doing evil shit that we'd have to undo later on. So I think that we should give him more useless side quests to focus on, because anything that distracts him from the more harmful things he would otherwise be doing is a net positive, in my opinion. But having said that, I'm not going to allow Fox News, of all places, to shame us for caring about this story, because I, for one thing, it is downright fucking hilarious. The reflecting pool is the perfect encapsulation of the current state of America in 2026. See, we could have high-speed rail. We could have healthcare for every single person by now, but we have none of those things. Instead, we are a late-stage capitalist dystopia and the laughingstock of the entire world. So I, for one, think it's poetic that this is the state of our dying empire on its 250th birthday. The fact that the East Wing is demolished, the fact that tarps are covering up federal buildings because Trump illegally put his name on them, and the fact that the reflecting pool is green and smells like shit is the universe's way of telling us that we should feel shame, not pride, on our 250th birthday for electing a fascist cartoon character, and also because of our racist, genocidal, imperialist legacy. And simply put, we all just need something to laugh at to keep from crying. And I, for one, am enjoying the collective schadenfreude. You've got people portraying the reflecting pool as a poison swamp from Elden Ring. You've got Seinfeld memes of George Costanza covered in green goo after going in the reflecting pool. You've got AI-generated pictures of Yoda lifting the X-Wing out of the reflecting pool as if it's the Dagobah swamp. And you've got people just pointing out how goofy it is to see members of the National Guard defending the reflecting pool from supposed vandals, because God forbid anybody think that it was Mother Nature, because that would conflict with Donald Trump's contrived narrative. So, no, it's not the most important story ever, but we need this, okay? We fucking need this. I'm not afraid to admit that we need this story. The country's been taken over by fascist extremists, and this is a reminder that even though things are really bad right now, the people making our lives hell are deeply incompetent and deeply stupid. And there's no shame in taking a little bit of comfort and joy in that thought. Oh, and if it wasn't already obvious, I have to admit that I am also on Team Algae, and I sincerely actually do want the reflecting pool to stay like this forever. Unironically, I actually want that, because politicians, they deserve to be disgusted by stinky, shitty water. And on top of that, I think it's appropriate that our national monuments reflect the true essence of our country. So I think it's only right that they're as embarrassing and rotten as we are as a country. So let's go, Algae. Welcome to the Antifa, Algae, I guess. Like, welcome to the resistance. I salute you, Algae. Keep it up, Algae. Let's go.
Do yourself a favor and click the join button on YouTube to become a member. Because Mike's doing a great job. Getting to watch his videos before everyone else is tremendous. Many people are saying this. Join today, folks. You won't regret it.